where the movie started. Facing at a photo they've taken. Space tree flying through the skies and battles happen everywhere. I don't need a hero to save me. I don't know why the kids always crying. I've been
What's up, YouTube? Thank you for watching This Be Trucking. It's your girl 40 Shades.
Y'all know me. It's your brother This Be. What's been happening? We are currently in where the hell we at?
We're in Phoenix, Arizona.
Been here since Thursday. Today is Monday. Put the truck in the shop. Supposed to have been ready Friday. They didn't get it completed. Guess what? Had to wait over the weekend because they only had 2 mechanics on Saturday. Anyway, that's a whole nother video, right?
But it's done, washed up, and good to go.
Ready to roll.
We're about to bring you part 2 of the First Things First series. And
today we want to talk about 3 topics. As a driver, your endurance, the expectation of the company that you work for as far as time at home, and then fatigue. Just want to hit on all 3 of those and kind of brief, but it's definitely things that you want to consider before coming out of here if you're made this way. And I guess the first thing I'll talk about is your driving endurance. And what I mean by that is, are you built to drive 400, 500, 600 miles a day, every day, for 8, 10, 12, 14 days in a row? Okay? Got to consider that, because that's kind of the expectation. That's kind of what you're stepping into. That's also how you make your money. You know, if those wheels aren't turning, you ain't gonna make no money. So
now, how does a driver do that? How can they build their endurance up if they're just coming out on the road and mainly only got a little bit experience, so they don't have the 400 to 500, 600 yet? How can they increase that?
I would say the best way to, this is where you try to get it at. That week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you is with that road trainer, try to do all the driving. You know, you try to do all the driving. That way you can kind of get a feel, you know, with somebody there that you can turn it over to at 400 miles in, and they can finish the day out.
Right.
But within that first, you know, I say this, you know, I really don't know the average road time that you're going to spend with your road trainer. At Schneider, how long did you go out there?
1 week.
1 week.
Yes.
Okay. So you got 1 week to kind of build this up, to kind of gauge yourself to see where you're at by, like I say, that first day you get under that wheel, go as far as you can go. Try to build on that. Now, of course, if you only make it 300 miles that first day, but try to do that 400 the next, that 500, and in those last 2 or 3 days in that 500, 600 mark.
And if I can be honest with you guys, sorry, babe, but even as me becoming a new driver, the one thing I learned about my endurance, I didn't beat myself up. I try to increase it by 25, 50, 70 miles per day. And I also kept like a journal, so that way I can see myself improving day by day, week by week. Because once I kind of got that endurance built up, I also learned, like when I ate a heavy meal after lunch, I got real sluggish. So I started to learn things about myself during my endurance training. I learned what I could and could not eat. So I was more mindful that I wasn't eating heavy. So I started to get sluggish where I couldn't meet my goal. But if I ate a piece of fruit or something light, I was able to meet or exceed my goal.
That's real important, how you eat and think, you know, you want to, you're going to have the tendency to want to snack, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But make sure you're snacking on energy food. That's the best way to put it.
Right.
And, you know, you're not, and when I say energy food, and I know a lot of y'all probably don't believe in shit like trail mix and peanuts and almonds and
Fruit, fresh fruit.
Carrot sticks and things like that. But you want to eat something light and preferably energy food. Because when you start, if you're trying to eat a burger and you know, that candy bar stuff and that drinking soda,
Even energy drinks.
not a real good way to go, okay? I'm strung out on energy drinks. I have to admit that. I drink, what are those things? A Red Bull, at least one, well, only one a day. But that gives me my spike at a certain time during my drive, okay? But, you know, try to really,
Green smoothies are good because they do have the vitamins and the veggies and that stuff in it. It's still sweet, it's still good for you, and it still gives you the energy. So if you can do 1 to 2 a day, will lighten up the load of something heavy on your stomach.
There you go. All right. Moving on to the next topic. The next topic would be fatigue then. Okay. Driving that 8 to 10 hours, 11 hours a day. Of course, DOT says you can only drive 11. And you have a 14-hour day. Now understand, your days can get long. You know, you can use that whole 14 hours up. You really can. Sitting at a shipper, going over here to pick up a trailer, and then finally going down the highway to where you drive the 400, 500, 600 miles.
Especially in the winter.
Okay. Ooh, we won't even get into winter yet. I got a winter video coming. But yes. But with that being said, fatigue, it has to be managed out here. And how do you manage fatigue? The simplest way is getting 7 to 8 hours sleep every day, every night. On that 10-hour break, don't be
On YouTube,
for I know,
social media.
4 or 5 hours a night type of sleep type of thing. You know, don't do that to yourself. You know, there's a thing called
Sleep debt.
like sleep debt. You know, it's like when you think about a bank. You got a good savings, right? Because you've had good sleep for the last 2 or 3 days. Now you get out here, start driving. If you take away from that savings account
And keep taking away.
throughout the week, 3, 4, 5 days in, I guarantee you it's going to catch up with you. You know, you're going to be dead tired.
Yes.
Which can lead to things with like micro sleeps. I won't get all into that, but a micro sleep is that where you blank out, you're driving down the road, but you done forgot the last mile. Damn, what happened? That means you didn't really focus or process nothing in the last mile. You could have ran over somebody in that mile. Okay, so manage that sleep. With that being said, can you sleep at a truck stop with a truck running next to you? Right now, I don't know if you hear it. This guy next to me, I think he's doing a regen. Because at first his truck, it was on, but it was nice and quiet, but it done, so he done bumped up the RPMs or whatever. Or if he's doing a regen, it automatically bumped up. But it's noisy right now. You got the, what do they call those? APUs. Drivers running the APUs. Be right there by your head, right by that window, right where you're there resting. Got to be able to block that out.
Or if you're a team driver and your team driver is driving and you're back there and it's bumpy roads and stuff is going on and you can't get settled back there.
There you go.
You got to be able to sleep on your shift.
That's a whole different scenario. I was just kind of speaking on solo there, but as a team, can you sleep in a moving truck?
Yep.
Okay.
And that'll be a good video, because for me, coming from the night shift, sometimes my sleep debt will go home on home time, and if I don't get back to my schedule, it's hard for me. I'm already at a deficit when I get back in the truck, because it's time for me I should have been asleep, but I'm at home kind of tidying things back up, getting stuff in the truck, so I'm not even sleep on my shift. I'm already coming in as a deficit. So of course, during the nighttime, I'm tired because I've been doing the day schedule, and then I'm trying to readjust to the night.
And what she does try to do, though, is she has a, what I like about she has a practice. Now she usually drives from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 o'clock in the morning. At least that's her shift. Now if she does her miles in between 4 and 2, boom, she can pull over, that type of thing. But with that being said, what she tries to do sometime is, the night before we get ready to come back out, she'll put herself back on her shift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So little tricks like that. But you definitely, first things first is managing the fatigue, and that's just getting adequate sleep, period.
Right.
Okay? And do what you got to do. If you got to sleep with earplugs in, because of the noise. She uses, being that she sleeps during the daytime, she has a, what do you call it?
An eye mask, and the video will be coming out about the eye mask.
A sleep mask that she uses that blacks out it's blackout back there. They work really good. I've played with them, that type of thing.
And I also use meditation music. I put my headphones in my ears and then use meditation music for about an hour and a half, so I'm able to get into my sleep and then go deeper, so I'm not taking out my headphones to be able to go to sleep.
That's a good one. So what we talked about your driving endurance. We talked about fatigue. Another thing about fatigue, how you eat kind of contributes to how you sleep. Try not to eat real heavy or drink a lot of water
before going to sleep.
Right before you go to bed. Try to cut that out, a couple hours before you go to lay down, that type of thing. Okay, and the last thing is time at home, okay? I think I can safely say 9 out of the 10 mega carriers, top mega carriers out here, if that's where you go, whether it be Swift, Warner, Schneider, JB Hunt,
KL,
well, whoever.
Yeah.
The expectation of you coming on, signing on with them
as an over-the-road driver. Now, if you get something local or dedicated, different story. But as an over-the-road driver, minimum they're looking at 10 to 14 days that they're looking for you to be out. Okay. I think Schneider is still like this. I think is for every 6 days you work, you get 1 day off. So you work 12 days. 12 days, they're trying to 14 days.
They're trying to get you home, 12 to 14, whatever's in there. They're trying to get you home, and then they give you 2 days that you have off. Now, could you take more time when you're at home? That depends on the company that you're with, right? What they're going to say about that. But with that being said, understand and plan for that type of time out of here, being out on the road. Over and above that, if you get in this and you're actually a grinder, you're going to realize the way to make that money is keep those wheels moving. As a solo driver, even in this owner-operator game, if she stays at home and I go solo, I'm going to do 21 days to 24 days before I go home. Okay, because I'm making my money that way. If you think about even as a company driver, now think about it, as a company driver, if they allowed you to come out 3 days, go home a day, by the time they find you a load to get, you're not going to make no money.
Right.
That first 3 days, you mess around and you only get to do one load, maybe a load and a short load type of thing, but you're not going to get the loads that you want or the miles that you want. As a company driver, that's what your profitability is driven by,
Right.
how many miles you get. And if you're not shooting for minimum 2,500 miles a week, that's minimum. That's, me, myself, solo, when I was company, I'm shooting for 3,200 miles a week. That was my minimum, and usually 3,700 was my top side. Now, with that being said, when you think about the rules have changed since I've been a solo driver in a company scenario. The rules have changed. I used to they had 8 on and 8 off. Now it's the 11 hours and then 10 off. So,
And also one thing for you guys to be mindful of, if you guys are with the company, one lesson that a lot of drivers learn, you may put in home time for a certain date, but depending on where you are and if they can get a load going back that direction, keep that in mind. So if you got a doctor's appointment on Monday and by Friday you still haven't heard from them about when you're going home, you want to be calling Friday morning to make sure, if you can't make it, you want to be able to call the doctor's office and reschedule that appointment, because you don't want to wait till Sunday, everybody's out of the office and you're still wondering if you have to go home. You have to take that ownership as a driver and follow up with your driver leader, driver manager, 2 or 3 days before you have to get home to make sure you are going home. Because they may have it where they can't find a load for you to get home, and then now you're fussing because you told them 2 months ago you had to be home. So make sure you do diligence and you do your follow-up.
Right. And, I mean, that's the nature of the beast, okay? As an over-the-road driver, I can say this for Schneider. They're going to try to get you home. They're going to try to get you home. They will deadhead you home. I've seen them do that. Okay, they would, forget it, just turn and go home. They would do that for their company. I've seen them do that. I've been in that situation. Now, with that being said, now are they going to always do that?
No.
Depend on the urgency of the situation.
Right.
Okay. It's like we talked about, I think in the first video, I think we touched on just making sure your family is aware that, hey, babe, can you come home? It don't work like that.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. So there's gonna be times, and I can almost guarantee that there's gonna be times you're gonna wanna be at home, whether it's a daughter's birthday, a football game, because you told your son, hey, I'll be at least one of them, yada, yada, yada. It might not work out that way. That's over the road. That's the reality of it. Wow, this video done got real long.
So like always, just make sure you guys like, comment, and share. And if you have not hit the notification bell on the side, please make sure you do, so when a video does come out, you will be the first one to know.
And if this is the first time you guys watched us, subscribe.
Until next time, peace.
That'll be the best time.